in here. Anything you want to say, babes?
I just want to say thank you very much to everyone that's out there fighting for me, seeing this come together, and the support has been amazing. I've got a table full of rock stars here that are all working tirelessly around the clock fighting for this cause with me. And I just want all you guys out there across the world to know that I'm going to justify your effort, and I'm going to come back stronger and bigger and badder. And once I get back on my feet, we're going to justify all this. Make sure that all you guys' efforts don't go unnoticed. We're going to come together and have a huge, huge party.
Oh, Suki now. Hell yeah. I know my dogs are watching, and if you ain't, I know you will be. And if you are watching and you ain't my dog yet, you will be, because I'm Swede and it's my life mission to help you get busy living. Now, look, tonight we're going to go through after how to handle distractions such as holiday parties and all the nonsense that kind of comes with that. This time of year it's tough. But speaking of distractions, there's a hater in the midst, y'all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a minute to put the rumors to rest about what's going on with this project. So somebody decided to take the task to go to Facebook and start making accusations that I'm a fraud and that I'm using the money that I've received through the nonprofit for my own parties and travels. And I'm here to tell you, folks, that every penny that has been collected through this nonprofit is there. It's for a cause. We're using that money to get Schaefer his stem cells. We're using that money to get somebody to Alaska. And we're going to use that money to get you guys a raffle ticket. And then as time goes on, we hope to continue to gather more and more funds so that we can get more and more people the type of life-changing stem cell treatments that you can get. Now, there's a lot that goes in to producing a nonprofit in a podcast. And it's a nonprofit. If you guys don't know already, just check out our episode that we did a couple weeks ago about how nonprofits work. It's a typical business. The only difference between a nonprofit and a regular business, they both come with labor costs, they both come with expenses, they both come with business costs, they both come with all these same expenses that any other business comes. It's just that a nonprofit, the point is that there's an obligation for the people that are operating the nonprofit to put the profit or the money, the revenues minus expenses, which is the profit, into the betterment of the community. So the official mission of our nonprofit is to advocate for stem cells and to get people that need our help help with stem cells. And that's why Schaefer is our guy. And that's why if you have anybody that you know that you feel is working their tail off to get back into good shape and they need help and they can't help themselves, by all means, please send their story to the email that we have. It's nominations@thehswa.org, and we look over all of those stories, and we're looking to help people. And so, no, I'm not using the nonprofit money to go on these vacations. I have my own dough. Anybody that's ever known me, you guys know I've been hustling since birth. My first job was shoveling snow when I was 7 years old. And believe me, I worked my tail off to be able to have the type of lifestyle that I have. I don't live a lavish lifestyle. I keep it close to the vest until it's time for me to go out and do my once per month epic adventure. For those of you that don't know what that is, before I got injured, I had 54 months in a row on at least one epic adventure every single month. And I've made it my personal mission to get back to that and go on 55 months in a row, which is going to break that former streak. And so, luckily, I've been able to accomplish 14 months. November makes month number 15. I'm happy to say for Thanksgiving, I'm going to go spending the time with my most favoriteest person on this planet, my lovely daughter, Lyric Alexis, aka the Lyrical Miracle. So, for those of you that might have caught wind of this, the hater in the midst, and if you happen to know who they are, you can let them know that if they have some issues with me, they're welcome to address them with me. If they have some suspicions with me, they're welcome to address them with me. The IRS holds anyone that's operating a nonprofit to the highest standard. So you can rest assured that when you go to the HSWA / Schaefer Squad, then you know that you'll be able to get yourself reserve yourself a copy of the book and enter yourself into the raffle, and you know that whatever money that you put into this project is going to go towards those causes. Okay, so just again, I want to put all these rumors to rest. I want to make sure that this person, whoever you are, knows that we don't argue with fools. So that's it. It's done. It's over. It's through. A wise man said, don't argue with fools because people from a distance can't tell who's who. So I'm not arguing with you. So what I am going to do is introduce my dazzling, dynamic co-host out of Glendale, California. Please help me welcome to the stage the dazzling D Rex.
Hello, everybody. We are here once again. Hello, my friend. And you know what? Anybody who goes on the internet to hate on others, they definitely need a hobby, and they especially don't need to be taking attention away from trying to raise money for our buddy Schaefer. I mean, who would go on the internet and then try to take attention away from that? Because it's already hard enough to hold fundraising opportunities and to get something happening in this world. So I'm not too pleased about that, but I also try to have compassion for people with this much hate in their hearts. And we're going to let them go.
Well, D-Rex, I actually want to comment on that one real quick. Look,
Mhm.
I am the type of person that likes to give people the benefit of the doubt. I try to see the good in people. And so I'm just telling myself that there's a slim possibility that this person had somebody infiltrate their mind and tell them things, and they felt that they were doing a community service by warning people against what we're up against here. Now, excuse me, you know how hard I work. You're right there with me working on this too. So for those of you that might have felt there might be some credence to that, let's just bless that person. Hope that they can get better information and learn to trust, especially somebody such as myself, who I take a great deal of pride in wearing my the truth of honesty badge on my sleeve. I do not have a reputation for ripping anybody off. I do not have a reputation for being a fraud. Now, look, I'm not perfect. I'm telling you, I have my flaws, and there are people on this planet that I wish I had a better relationship with, because we all make mistakes, and communication is hard. And so sometimes there are miscommunications. Sometimes other things get involved where there's no perfect resolution for everything. So I'm not telling you that there's nobody on this planet that has a reason to have a grudge against me, or have or have a conversation that we need to have about clearing the air. But what I am here to tell you is that I ain't no fraud. I'm working my ass off to try to make this thing happen. This is my life mission. My life mission to repay the debt of gratitude that I owe to you, D-Rex, and most of the people that have been in this audience that all came together to rescue me a few years ago. And so I'm planning to pay that debt forward. And this is my way of doing that. This is an extremely elaborate plan. There's a lot of working parts. I'm only one man, so I can't do it all by myself, right? And which brings me to why we're doing No Nonsense November. And I know
Did someone say no nonsense November?
I love that. I love that bass. Dude, that's such a suspenseful bass. You know, I
Suspenseful
thought that
month?
when we decided to attack this subject, I felt a little giddiness come out of you, because um, I know that you're a no nonsense person. And when I was going to call it No Something Else November, and you came up with
Mhm.
No Nonsense, I was like, ding ding ding. I know I'm striking
Yeah.
the nail on the head with you. So why, D Rex, is this such an intriguing topic for you?
Oh, there's so much that we want to get done in our lives, you know? And both you and I are working our tails off in many different areas, and I'm sure that a lot of our watchers and listeners are as well. And I am always interested in streamlining my workflow so I can get more done with the time that I am working. But I would also like to talk a bit more about how to approach that without burning out. I'm really excited to talk about approaching going for these huge goals in your life, but approaching it with mindfulness and introspection so that you don't take on too much or too little. There's a lot to talk about in here. Really looking forward to digging into this today. And I wouldn't say I'm a no nonsense kind of person, but I do work really hard to try to reach my goals. And I have plenty to say about this. So, speaking of talking with people, we have some people in the audience here already. And if you are
Yeah.
here and watching, just please speak up. Tell us you're here so we know who you are and we can say hello. And feel free to post any questions about this topic of trying to reach your goals during this holiday season when there's so many distractions coming your way. If you have questions or if you have your own piece of advice, go ahead and chime in. You're very welcome.
By all means, please do. And D-Rex, don't we have something fancy to show whenever we have people like my man Ray Ferrito here from Erie, PA? What's up, Ray?
Oh, yeah.
You catch that little quip, hooray, hooray. What's up, Ray Ferrito, my man? And then we got the invaluable, another star of our show. Lori is also working her tail off to help perpetuate this mission here. So, Lori, thanks as always for coming back and chiming in with us. We love having you here every week. I got my man Brett Dow Mao. If you don't know who this guy is, D-Rex, Brett and I, we got a job together at the same exact time. I believe it was like 2002, where we were hired together. We were in this like orientation class, and we've been boys ever since. Now we haven't been ride or dies the whole time, but man, Brett's a special guy, man. He's got one of them personalities that just makes you just gotta love this guy. So Brett, man, I can't say enough how much I appreciate you showing back up. We got another Erieite in the house. What's up, Angel Gomez? So what's funny is was it you? Was it you, D-Rex, that you saw that what I have him programmed in my phone as Angel the Fertile Turtle?
No. No. I'm not sure this is the show to go into detail on that one.
No, we'll walk around it. We'll walk around it. But yo, Angel, thanks for showing up, brother, man. I appreciate you being here. And you know this guy, D-Rex. This is the one and
Yes.
only Curtis Industry. What's up, CJ in the house? Hey, bro, I was checking out them tracks, man. That album that you just showed me that you produced. Curtis just produced a 21 album track. Can you believe that? 21
Wait.
tracks. 21 track album. 21 track album.
Okay. That makes a little more sense to me.
Hey, speaking of somebody that works, speaking of somebody that keeps their eyes on the prize, let me tell you, I don't know anybody who has a more admirable work ethic than this man, Curtis. Thank you for showing up, man. I know you're busy.
Curtis, you probably have your own bit of advice to chime in here because we are going to be talking so much about working hard to reach big goals, and you definitely have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, man, Curtis, that dude has come a long way from when he was crashing on my couch a long time ago. Not because he needed a place to live, but because I lived really close to where his job was. This dude was driving an hour every morning and working 12-hour shifts. And he just came at me one day. He was like, "Yo, sweet." He was like, "Man, sometimes it's just too much for me to go home after work and then come all the way back. Do you mind, if I come through and kick it every once in a while?" And I was like, "Bro, my door is open for you." And ever since then, man, he has been, one of the greatest friends I have, man. Honestly, he looks out for me like a brother. He saved me. Curtis saved me when I was in Austin. He's the one that took me to the hospital when I had the brain incident back in Austin back in April. So our friendship couldn't be any closer, and I couldn't value you anymore, Curtis. So thanks again for showing up, bro. And look at my man JB Melancon is in that house. What's up, you coon ass motherfucker? Oh, don't say that on YouTube, sweet. My man JB's in the house. I met JB back in Florida. D-Rex, next time we go to Florida, which very well could be next month. I mean, if I get my way and I can talk you into it, I would love to be able to get a chance to introduce you to JB, man. One of the coolest people you ever meet. JB, thanks for showing up, brother. We appreciate you being here. Who that is? That's what's up. That's what's up.
Thanks everybody for being here, and anybody else who shows up along the way, please say hello. I really want to talk about how the person who showed up on Facebook to talk trash, and that's just a distraction along the way. And not only that, you've had a huge distraction the past couple of weeks, and you might want to talk for a second about that. Why we weren't on the air last week.
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in the fact that we've been able to go on every single Thursday. This is not something that either of us have any kind of training for. This is something that we just, kind of winging it. Like it was you recommended this a couple of years ago, and then when you did, I don't think you knew that I was working on doing this in the background until it's time to actually do it, and it just worked out perfectly that this is an endeavor that you're interested in. But we're not pros at this, but what we were able to do is for what I think it was like, I think I counted it was um, 61 weeks in a row where we went on every single week except for Thanksgiving last year, which, by
Thanksgiving,
the way,
yeah.
folks, we're not going to be on this year for Thanksgiving either. We're going to be too busy giving thanks. I'm going to be hanging out with the Lyrical Miracle. But so yeah, last week we missed a show. I hate to say it because I was taking a great deal of pride in the fact that we were able to nail it every single week, even though this is completely a side hustle for both of us. It's not something that's generating. We're not getting paychecks for this, y'all. This is the nonprofit. This is like the marketing arm of our nonprofit. But all of the revenues that we've generated through the nonprofit are all in reserve to try to get Schaefer down to Panama. So, we need some time off, you know what I mean? And so the fact
Yeah, but
that we were
you didn't need time off last week. You weren't choosing to not be live last week.
yeah,
So
that's true. So
once
I
again,
just, I just don't like to
health
admit
issues.
weakness.
Oh, come on. I mean, everybody needs to know sometimes health issues arise. And it got to the point where you weren't available last week. And we decided not to push for it because this podcast is really your voice. And I think it's really important. We've had a couple of shows without you here due to health issues, but I think it's really important for you to be here and for us to connect with you. You're definitely the machine here.
Oh, ain't you sweet? So yeah, for those of you that aren't closely or closely connected with me inside my close circle, I had an incident back in April where I became debilitated and had to be rushed to the hospital by Mr. Curtis Industry himself, and discovered that I have something going on with my brain, and it's collateral damage, spinal cord injuries. Our bodies are not designed to be sedentary like mine is. We're designed to be up, walking all the time, and so it's unfathomable how many different systems can break down in your body when you have a paralysis issue. And so this brain issue is one of the things that I'm dealing with. And the headaches came back with a vengeance last week. First started to feel them lingering on Wednesday morning. And by the time Thursday came around, I was just out of commission. And so much to the fact that I actually got hospitalized again. I just got out of the hospital yesterday. So I'm just thankful that I have the wherewithal and the energy to do this today, because them headaches ain't no joke, y'all. I mean,
No.
everybody that I talk to about headaches, they're always like, man, headaches ain't no joke. So we all know what that's like. So for those of you, and I did get quite a few people asking me, hey, where are you? And I'm very flattered to know that there are people that kind of, tune in every week, and like this is a part of their regular entertainment venue or regiment. So
And
thankful
we
for
love
those of
having
you
you
that,
here for
yeah,
sure.
very thankful for those of you that look forward to coming and checking in every Thursday at 9 Eastern. But yeah, man, I wasn't able to make it, and I'm thankful that it didn't last longer, and honestly,
Yeah.
luckily, this could be turn out to be a blessing in disguise, because I've had a lot of trouble with the medical field following up on what happened last week. And so I had a great conversation today, which is what ended our conversation earlier, D-Rex, when we were
Hmm.
doing pre-show notes. And so I have an appointment tomorrow for me to go get an MRI, and this is important because when I had it done before, it was during a flare up, and then when I left Texas and came back here, it took me 13 weeks to get another MRI. By that time, obviously, whatever was flaring up had subsided, and so the fact that I'm going to be able to get an MRI tomorrow, at the time when it's so close to the time when the actual problem is happening. Like I said, it could be a blessing in disguise to have this happen. So, got my
You
fingers
you
crossed.
never you never know. Everything is just a journey. We just got to surf those waves. I'm just happy it's being taken care of. We're glad you're back this week. And it did cause a delay. It caused a delay to our no nonsense. So let's get back to it. Let's talk about what that is.
So, well, like we were talking about earlier about this distraction, and holiday distraction. So I've decided to take this month extremely seriously. I'm going to take off time to go visit my daughter, and my semester is going to be winding down. So I've got a lot of really important schoolwork, and I just feel like I'm taking this fundraising thing with Schaefer, really seriously. So I want to be able to be
Mhm.
want to be able to focus on that. So what I've decided to do is cut out the things that can distract me, and we're going to go through a list of what things can be distractions. No, the things that could be considered nonsense, and how to handle them. And we're going to also go through a list of one of the solutions to cutting out the nonsense, or at least learning how to deal with distractions. But so what I'm doing this month is I'm cutting out smoking and drinking, and I'm going to just stay focused on the tasks at hand. I can't even say task because I've got
There's so
more than
many.
I've
Yeah.
got more than one. I mean, with school and my income source, and with this, obviously, this podcast and all of the moving parts that go into the Get Busy Living project as a whole. I'm just really focused on trying to make as much progress as I can and avoid distractions. So, um, looking
Yeah,
forward
so we
to
have
seeing what I can
we
get done
have
here.
so many things to accomplish, but what I'd be interested in hearing is what else do you plan to do besides abstaining? Like how do you plan on staying on task this month? Because I think that I'm joining you in a way. I didn't really say that I was, but I am. And I just kind of by accident, because for some reason a few weeks ago I just kind of stopped buying wine, and, and I just didn't start again, and I don't even know why. And it's
It's a
fine
funny
because
story.
guess what? I'm sleeping amazing. So that's one way that's really benefited me and toward
So
my no nonsense November.
what I've done is I put together a little bit of a list here, for us
Hmm.
to just to look at as we go through.
Okay.
And to answer your question about what exactly I am intending to do, to be able to stay focused. So this little no nonsense list here,
Okay.
if we can get this here. Okay, so eliminating the nonsense. This is a list that I compiled through some research and with a little bit of help from the spirits that are out there in the universe at play right now, that also
Mm-hmm.
known as
Mm-hmm.
the artificial intelligent people. But as far as what I come up with, as far as ways to eliminate nonsense, number one, or what are the effects of eliminating the nonsense as far as cutting out, for me, cutting out the
Hmm.
smoking and the drinking. So number one, the most important thing is improved mental clarity. So um, that's a pretty self-explanatory 1D Rex, but I know that you have some comments about exactly what that means to you.
Well, yeah, actually, when I said that my sleep has really improved, and I see that there on number 5, but I believe that that's actually what's underlying number 1 here is that when you get better sleep, more thorough, deep sleep, you do have improved mental clarity. I feel very clear-headed right now, and I actually haven't missed my nightly wine as much as I thought I would. So I'm who knows how long my no nonsense November will go, but the sleep is so wonderful that I don't know why I would want to challenge that. Why would I want to mess with that?
Well, the improved mental clarity. So by not, it's kind of like addition by subtraction, or not really that. It's like a swing. When by eliminating these habits that I have, which I'm not ashamed of them. It's a way that helps me unwind, and it's a fiber of our society to have a drink. It helps people with their social skills. It,
Mhm.
it relaxes your inhibitions, and I believe that alcohol has been around as long as food is. And it originated. According to my research, people have been getting drunk since they've been eating rotten fruit. And
Yeah.
150,000 years ago, when humans didn't know how to tell if a fruit was rotten, uh, we've been getting these buzzes. So what happens is when you get this buzz, not only are you not working, because I am notoriously one to not mix business with pleasure, but not
Mhm.
only are you when you're catching these buzzes or whatever, you're not working. So that's time work. That's productivity that's not happening. But then this goes kind of hand in hand with the sleep thing. But then the after effects, the recovery time. So it's like if you spend a Wednesday night celebrating hump day, that's time that you're not being productive. But then it's the next day where you're not nearly as efficient as
Mhm.
you could be. So that
Yeah.
improved mental clarity comes naturally as soon as you stop, putting poison into your brain. And look, like I said, I'm
And
not.
so does enhanced memory for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. Number two on the list, enhanced memory. I got to be
Mhm.
honest. So I haven't had anything to drink since the wedding last weekend. Which what is that for me now? 10 days of
Mhm.
no drinks and of no any kind of extracurriculars, uh, and and so I definitely notice it. I mean, there's no way that I wouldn't be able to get done what I got done with all those headaches over the course of the past week,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
I was still relatively productive. You know, um, I wasn't a complete deadbeat during that time. I was still able to do
Yeah, it's
things.
quite amazing that you were able to do things with those headaches.
Yeah, and
Erin,
and
I'd love you to expand on this comment here. She says, I've removed the barriers that kept me from spiritual vulnerability. I'd like you to expand on that if you can in the comment section. We'll bring it back
yeah,
up in a second.
please do, and and the mental clarity thing I think is the thing that
Mhm.
I'm noticing most is I don't wake up. And here's the thing, look, y'all. There's been a time in my life where I was far more aggressive about playing hard. Like I've always been a hard worker, but I've always told myself I work hard so that I can play hard. And I got some of the people that I've mentioned in this comment box here that know what I'm talking about. They've been right next to me, working hard and playing hard, or at least the playing hard part. And so they know where I'm coming from. I have been one to play hard, and so I notice right away how much clearer I think. I no longer have to scramble to remember what I'm supposed to be doing today, or I haven't recently had to scramble to remember what I was supposed to be doing today. I wake up very crisp. I've always been an early riser. Even if I played hard last night, I always have been up with the sun anyway. But
Mhm.
definitely now, I'm not just waking up with the sun and like wiping the sleep out of my eyes and like
Mhm.
trying to remember what my life was like. I
Uh,
actually am waking up remembering what I was thinking about when I went to sleep. So that right there, mental clarity, is amazing. And then number three on the list, better time management. I guess that kind of goes in with it, and we're going to talk more about time management here in a moment. But you can manage your time better when you have mental clarity and you can remember what the hell you're supposed to be doing. So
mhm.
that
Mhm.
naturally goes hand in hand with that increased energy. Obviously, when you're not feeling hungover or groggy from your body
Mhm.
recovering from these substances that you put in there that are not designed to help us with our health and our energy. So that's to be expected. But that's a very important one, because how many of us have tried to be productive on a day when we had deadlines or we had something that was important, and man, we just couldn't seem to stop dragging ass the whole day. I mean, so that's another real big advantage, is that when you have clarity mentally, and you can remember what's going on, uh, having that increased energy just helps you to like just start knocking things off the list much better. We've already talked about consistent sleep pattern, increased motivation. Wow, that is another one, because if you're groggy and you're tired and you can't remember what the hell you're supposed to be doing and your
Mhm.
brain's all foggy, then how motivated are you? You know, I can't tell you how many times I've been like, man, I know I'm supposed to be doing homework, or I know I'm supposed to be working on the podcast, or I know I'm supposed to be working on the nonprofit, but I just don't got it in me today. I think I'm just gonna watch Steelers reruns.
Well, I tell you
So
what, it seems like everything on this list, well, not everything, but a lot of things on this list that I relate to, they all stem from getting better sleep. The mental clarity, the better stress management, motivation, um, enhanced memory. All of this is, for me, stemming from getting better sleep, getting
sure,
deeper.
and as far as the better stress management, that I mean, most of this is an intuitive list. I admit, I'm not we're not
Mhm.
breaking any ground here talking about these things. It's just putting it in writing and giving others an opportunity to read it is just one
Mhm.
more way of helping cement it in your brain. A lot of people learn in different ways, right? And
Mhm.
so look at Angel. He's like 8, 9, and 10. Like he's feeling me. So I was about to go into that. So better stress management. I mean, when you have a deadline, but you can't seem to think clearly, or you're dragging ass, then that's stressful. And so by keeping yourself healthier, and by removing those toxins from your bloodstream, it just comes
Mhm.
to, it just makes perfect sense that you're going to be able to manage your stress better, because you're not going to feel so much anxiety. You're not going to feel this confusion and stuff that comes along with that. And with that, with better stress management, with mental clarity, with enhanced memory, it just comes to, it's an obvious thing that career advancement is a natural byproduct, right? Especially for those of us that are interested in that. And look, listen, I know there's plenty of us that are completely content with the car we're driving and the house we're living in and the money that we're making. Our kids are happy, our dogs are happy, and our wives are happy. So career advancement's not something that you're very interested in. But it's just funny that when you have clarity and you have energy, that you go to work and guess what? Your peers don't a lot of times. And so that's that, it just gives you an edge, and I'm noticing that. I mean, I'm not competing with anybody because, I'm the captain of this ship and I've got a great co-pilot with you, D-Rex. So we're teammates and I'm not in competition with you. But I know for sure that as I remain focused and I continue to keep myself clean, that although it's not like I'm getting promoted from somebody else, I know that my career as a nonprofit director is advancing. And so there's another hit to the hater. Yes, I'm taking this seriously. I'm not a fraud. And number 9, financial stability. I could not tell you. I could not even fathom how much money I have spent on alcohol in my life. Good Lord. If I had a nickel for every nickel I spent on alcohol, I'd have tons of nickels.
And you know what? I feel like what goes along with this, I mean, not only financial stability, but so you were spending money on it, but you were spending some health on it as well, because I read right before we went live tonight, that there was a study done where they gave people a sober month to adhere to, and a lot of people lost on average 4.5 pounds. Think
Wow.
about that. That is
I
nearly a sack
I
of
hadn't
flour.
even I, I hadn't even considered that. I mean, I've been on a pretty good trajectory with weight loss recently, but I hadn't even considered that as an advantage. So Angel makes a good point. Angel, thank you for chiming in on this, man. This is very welcome comment. He says, I think everyone has different goals, but I think all of these points are great and applied into our day to day would elevate. Yes, my man. And I want to say hello to the RFCB Roots and Fruits from Cowboy Boots. What's up, girl? Welcome back. Good to have you in the house.
Hey, Kelly.
And then we asked Boozy to chime in. So D-Rex, do you want to pick up there and talk and just go over her comments here?
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to bring the list down or not, but it says all of these great examples have happened for me. I start to see the world differently as I look at why I'm still alive. And for her, it is God who she's been open to exploring But for some, it's just a basic concept that there's something bigger out there than just us.
Yes. And then
Now let's
she
finish this yeah.
lastly she said, or
Mm.
I'd be dead by now.
Mhm.
And if you guys didn't catch Boozy, Aaron Staff, if you didn't catch the episode that we did where she was our special guest, probably one of the hardest hitting episodes that we've done. I mean, her story is amazing. It really is a miracle that this girl has her wits about her. She's been through it. I mean, we've all aspired to fall in love, and love came for her and went almost as quickly as it came. And now she's learning to love in other ways. And it's such an inspiration to see how she's turned it around, you know. So, Little Boozy, super proud of you.
Well
Really,
said.
really
Well said.
appreciate you, really proud of you, and I'm so thankful that you came on and shared your story with us a few months ago, and we're looking forward to having you back, which, by the way, we are intending to continue to build this community. And so all of our guests that we've had on, we have extended welcome back. We haven't had a single guest that was like, nah, they're not going to come back. You know, everybody has interesting stories, and they've all done a really good job at sharing them, and it's always been really powerful nuggets for our audience to learn from. And then, you know, part of the Get Busy Living podcast goal is to uh, help you understand that it doesn't matter what has happened to you in your life. It doesn't matter what happens to you. It matters how you react to it. And that's the life I'm living. I mean, you know, it didn't happen to me. I happened to it. I'm the dumbass that climbed on the roof for chasing that monkey. Don't chase the monkey. But but you know, it's what you do with it that defines you, you know. And so it's to what we hope to accomplish with this podcast, not only spreading the word about the nonprofit and trying to give back in that manner, but is to give you nuggets of knowledge on a weekly basis, not just from our experiences, not just from our research, but from the experiences of our guests. And Lil Boozy's her show was spectacular as far as like talking about learning from other people's experiences and turning what is a shitty set of circumstances into something positive. I mean, wow. I mean, is there a finer example? She is, you know,
Yeah,
practicing now.
there's no better example of number 10 here than that entire episode where she was on.
Amen. Amen. And
Mhm.
so, number 10, personal growth. Wow. Yeah. Lil Boozy, if you want to chime in and talk about, you know, your personal growth story, you're welcome to please let us know in the comments. Just for those that might not have caught that episode, you know, just give us a little nugget about in what ways you've grown since you've eliminated that nonsense from your life. It really is so powerful, so powerful.
So I have a few things, just a couple of nuggets, and actually, I would like to ask our audience to put their own nugget in the comments. That sounds awful. Drop a nugget in the comments. Um, but I would like to drop a couple of tips for staying on your mindful. What am I trying to say? The way you're working mindfully toward your goals, and one of those is get yourself some noise canceling headphones. And when you're really trying to focus and really trying to work, don't have music on in the background. You put your noise canceling headphones on, and you're like in a bubble. You're in a work bubble. You're in a get it done bubble.
Interesting. Interesting. I know a lot of us have the habit of putting on some sort of noise, you know, like whether you're working out or
Mm-hmm.
you're doing your chores, or, you know, whether you have the type of job that allows you to do that. A lot of us, uh, you know, we refer to that to help us like block out the other noises or to prevent distractions. But you're right. Having just silence is golden when it comes to, you know, trying to remain focused. So that's a great nugget.
Yeah. Oh, I have another nugget.
Nugget.
um, so it is easy for someone like me. I'm not going to speak for anybody else, but it's easy for someone like me to overwork on their goal. When they have a big goal, It's easy for me to give too many hours and not not allow myself to have rewards until the big tasks are done. But you should have planned in little rewards at certain stages, not just at the end, because life is this way too, where it's a journey. It's not this destination, right? And even after you accomplish your goal, I'm sure that it's not completely done, whatever that is. It's going to be a journey. So you have to get used to rewarding yourself with free time or rewards on the way, because you're never quite done. Are you ever quite done growing in your life? Are you ever really done with
No,
anything?
no such thing. No such thing.
So this is me saying, do as I say, not as I do. I'm trying to implement this in my own life, where I'm going to try to plan more rewards for accomplished tasks.
So,
And not just for November. I'm just going to try to not overwork. I'm going to keep doing it. Go ahead.
So, I'm glad that you brought that up. Hold on a second. So, I wanted to bring up something that I think is pretty valuable. The the Life in a Year of Sweetisms book is just it's just a token of exchange for those of you that are interested in um, helping us achieve our mission of getting safer down to Panama. And so the Life in a Year of Sweetisms book. So what you need to do is go to the hswa.org and click on the Help Schaefer button, or just go to hswa.org/Schaefer Squad, and you'll be able to get yourself a copy of the book for $50 or more. You can reserve a copy of the book that's going to enter you into a raffle, and the winner of the raffle is going to go to Alaska with Scooty Wells. We did a podcast on that a couple weeks ago, so that you can find out exactly what that raffle entails. And while I'm looking this up, D-Rex, why don't you talk a little bit about what that raffle would mean to you if you were able to go with Scooty Wells?
Oh, wow, guys. I don't know how many of you have ever been to Alaska, but I haven't. And all I've been doing is listening to all of these people talk about how it is the most life-changing event to be able to go to Alaska and explore it and do all of these amazing things like jumping in ice cold pools or hiking on glaciers. And it's just supposed to be the most gorgeous place on earth. And if you see the pictures, maybe we'll bring those up in a bit once I had to take out one of my contact lenses, so I'm not seeing very well. But it's a life-changing trip, and it's going to be designed around what you want to do. So if you don't want to jump in an ice pool, you don't have to. But I would want to. I think that would be a real defining moment in my life, to be able to jump into an ice cold pool in Alaska, into that clear blue water. Surrounded by glaciers,
Imagine that mental clarity.
And there's so much that's interesting about ice baths, and I feel like we should talk about that on some other episode. But to be able to do things that you're interested in this amazing place, being guided by our good friend Scooty Wells, who's one of the best people on the planet. Can you imagine this experience and how it will change and shape your life? And the fact that you get a chance to be in the raffle for this for a mere $50. And not only that, it goes right to helping Schaefer get his stem cells. I mean, it's honestly, like, you look at this opportunity to be part of something so great and so important. You will be thinking about it after you donate that $50. You'll be thinking about it forever, and you'll be feeling great about it. Now, if you took that $50 and you just went and got yourself a couple of different lipstick colors, I'm sure that would be fun. But it's not going to change your life like this.
My nonprofit consultant said, you can go to Barnes & Noble and you can spend $50 on books with the quickness And it's
Mm-hmm.
arguable whether
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get a more entertaining book, but you're definitely not going to get an opportunity to go on the most epic adventure of your life, which is, for the record, it's an airfare included from anywhere in the United States to Anchorage, Alaska. So you get yourself to the US, we'll get you up to Alaska, and then it's going to be 6 nights, 7 days in Alaska, 4 nights of camping, 2 nights of cabins. You're not just going to be camping in the woods. You're going to be on an overland vehicle, which means that your your tent is going to be on top of your awesome 4-wheel drive Toyota Tundra or something similar. So you're not going to be like totally rugging it, and you're going to be with Scooty Wells. So if any bears come, he knows how to handle that kind of situation. He talked thoroughly about that. So by all means, please do go back and check out that podcast. Scooty Wells nailed it when it comes to describing what Alaska is about. So not only do you have an opportunity to have a life-changing experience such as that, you're also going to participate or be a part of the reason that Schaefer is able to get to Panama. And then you're going to also get an opportunity to receive a copy of the Life and Year of Sweetisms book, and which is I brought this up because I want you guys to see just an example of what that book is going to contain. So this refers to being productive. Okay, so Lori told me this one time, and it really stuck with me. So I posted this one day, and the Life and Year of Sweetisms book is basically a collection of the things that I posted throughout time that are designed to be mildly entertaining, designed to be mildly enlightening, and hopefully inspirational. But at least I hope that they can make you think, laugh, or cry. So this right here says, "Sweet is not wasting another second on anything that doesn't get me closer to my dream life." And it says, "She told me an interesting way of looking at each day's tasks at hand. By seeing the more important tasks as rocks, lesser important tasks pebbles, trivial tasks as sand. Then understand the order you choose to address them makes a huge difference in how many you get done. If you aren't carefully prioritizing them, putting first things first, you'll find yourself constantly under the gun. Many of us toil with silly distractions, as though filling our day with the sand first. By the end of the day, there's no room for the rocks, and our days always seem to be cursed. But if we begin each day by addressing the rocks, then the pebbles, and use the sand to fill in the extra space, our efficiency increases and our missions get accomplished, and we find ourselves winning the race. I think this applies to many aspects of life. We often put petty goals ahead of making our dreams come true. The bucket gets kicked, and our lives are a list of things we were never able to do. Most common regrets in life, quoted from deathbeds, aren't sins or crimes we've committed. Instead, they're all the wonderful things we always wanted to squeeze in, but for some reason they just never fitted. And so that is one example of one of the things that you will read when you receive your copy of the Life and the Year of Sweetism's book. So I hope that you guys find that to be entertaining, mildly enlightening. But more so, what I wanted to do is, I think that if you look at it that way, think about this. How often do you get up in the morning and you know you have something really important to do, but it's going to take you some focus and some concentration, and you're like, oh, well, I also need to do the dishes, or I also need to take out the trash, or I also need to do something minor. And then you fill your day up with all these minor things, and the important stuff just doesn't seem to get done. And that's in a nutshell. That's what the Get Busy Living podcast is about. It's about getting busy living and doing the big things in your life that you've always wanted to do, but for some reason you just were never able to get around to it. And so this this idea of prioritizing the things in your life that you've always dreamt about and making them important to you is it's imperative. And so we also have one of the things that was on the list of nonsense was time management, right? And so I have
Mm-hmm.
another list here that can help people to kind of wrap their head around time management skills. And so just bear with me for a second here while I get
Mm-hmm.
us organized
Setting
here.
clear goals. Now, that's important to talk about because oftentimes we accidentally set goals that are a little vague. And I'm speaking from experience because I've been trying to teach my son how to be more specific. Be more specific in what you're going to do that day. You could just say, I'm going to get stuff done. And that is not a helpful goal. But if it's
Amen.
more specific, then you can start to tick it off the list.
Yeah, you know what, D-Rex, before I go into this list, I just want to catch up on some of the things here Lil Boozy was sharing with us. So she says,
Sure.
honestly, I didn't like myself any more than the people who I made dislike me. Wow, powerful way of putting it. That she made people dislike her. I did not see
Mm.
growth in myself until I clearly reflected on who I used to be. That's super powerful. And then Angel chimes in. He says, keeping negativity away, stay positive, and keep in positive company. Rub elbows with what you aspire to be. Amen, my brother. We actually did a podcast about that a while back. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
D-Rex, the podcast about
Yes.
you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around? So, way
Mm-hmm.
to nail that one for us, Angel. And then Lori chimes in. She says, set yourself some boundaries that to keep the peace in my happy space. And forgive me, guys, my eyes are a little bit blurry here, but
My eyes are blurry too, but
one of
I
those
think she
boundaries.
meant set myself some boundaries. Yeah.
Okay, set myself some boundaries that to keep the peace in my happy space. And one of those boundaries are learning to say no. Whoa, what do you know? That's on the list. When my body and mental health needs a break. And then little Boozy chimes back in. As soon as I start thinking I got this, I have to start over. As long as I stay small in my own mind, I can grow bigger in character. Wow.
Mm.
Let me read that again.
Yeah, that's
As
cool. I
as
like that.
long as I stay small in my own mind, I can grow bigger in character. That is personal growth for me in itself. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So funny that she says as Lori says, sorry, my words not come out right. Hope you get my pin
Yes.
hope you get my pinpoint. Oh man, I love you, Lori. You're the shit. So then little Boozy comes back in. I know exactly what you mean, Lori. So thank you again. Y'all. It really means a lot to us that you guys chime in. This we don't do this just to hear ourselves speak. Our knowledge and and our experiences only go so far. And the goal is to build a community where we're all sharing our experiences with each other so that we can all grow together. And this is a perfect example
Mhm.
of that happening right before our very eyes. So then, like Angel says, these are good. These are good.
Mhm.
And then Labuzi's two thumbs up, yes. And so then we got Lori saying thank you. Look at you guys, you're so cute. And then Angel chiming back in. That's deep. So yeah, thanks guys for chiming in. Please keep them coming because it's important to us that we're sharing everyone's knowledge. We're going to get a lot further as a community when we have more introspect and more rhetoric from everyone. So going back to the list here.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
it says so set clear goals. Yes, because if you don't have a clear goal, then you are just kind of wandering, And how many of you out there in the comments or otherwise, whether you see this later on after the live show's over and you watch the post production, which I'm happy to say I get quite a few text messages and messages from people telling me great show that they watched it post production. So very proud of that. But number 2, it says prioritize tasks. Prioritize tasks. So what was I just talking about? Put the big rocks first, and then the pebbles next, and then fill in the
Mhm.
extra space with the sand. Right?
Mhm.
Create a to-do
Mhm.
list. How about that, D-Rex? Weren't we just talking about that a couple weeks ago? I was like, you know what? I need to make a to-do list. And I did, and I put don't forget your to-do list at the top, number 1 on my to-do list.
That's important. That's an important task.
And then number 4, use a planner. We've had an
Mhm.
episode about, I think Magic Mel's episode was talking about the Freedom Mastery Planner, which I'm happy to say I'm back into. So if you guys aren't familiar with this Freedom Mastery Planner is spectacular. So it's not just your everyday planner. It's got the pages separated out so that you can really organize things. So you can like get a big long list of the things you need to do. And then it helps you like pick out the things that are important, prioritizing them, and then kind of like ordering yourself so that you know that you're getting the rocks rolled before you worry about the pebbles, right? So that's another important thing. Time blocking, that's the Freedom Mastery Planner is perfect for that. It's got basically every spread is a week long, and then after 5 weeks you got your month, and that's so helpful to do that. And then number 6, break tasks into smaller steps. Well, it seems like all of these things are tying together, doesn't it? And then number 7, set deadlines. So speaking of which, we are making it a top priority to try to get Schaefer, to try to get this goal of 1,000 reserved copies by Schaefer's birthday, which is January 25th. He'll be turning the lucky number 7
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
2024. So while we're on the topic of Schaefer, and I know D-Rex that you asked me not to run long, but I'm going to show this, and then we're going to knock out the rest of this list, and then we're going to go over our remaining comments, and we're going to wish everyone farewell. But for those of you who aren't familiar with Schaefer, please just take a look at this guy here.
You can see it when you see me, but you gotta believe me. Ain't nothing coming easy my way. No, I fucking work for this. I fucking work for this. You can see it when you see me, but you gotta believe me. Ain't nothing coming. You can see it when you see me, but you gotta believe me. Ain't nothing coming easy my way. No, I fucking work for this. I fucking work.
Come nobody write songs about working hard all the live long day with low wage and no raise. Ain't got no benefits, no insurance, no 401k. I'm talking about regular people, never an extra dime for which to save for rainy days. So many of those, Obama gon' make a change, at least I hope so. But he can't change us, only we can change we. Only you can change you, and only me can change me. So every day when you're talking to that man in the mirror, tell him that if you're not taking step forward, then you're nearer to the rear of the line. Cause we marching over here, bruh. Steadily climbing that mountain, we too high, we cannot hear you. What you say? You gonna have to speak up. The planets in my trunk sound like somebody is getting beat up. If it with me, you wishing to keep up, then you must pick your feet up. I've been known to steer the show, although I'm only just a feature.
You can see it when you see me, but you gotta believe me. Ain't nothing coming easy my way. No, I fucking work for this. I fucking work for this. You can see it when you see me, but you gotta believe me. Ain't nothing coming easy my way. No, I fucking work for this.
Yeah.
Amazing work,
Yeah.
Schaefer. Schaefer has come so far, and it's really wonderful to see that great video of him and where it all began, and him as a baby and how far he's come. It's really inspirational.
Yes, and it's important to note that the people that we're looking for, if you know somebody that needs help, that they can't help themselves and they just need a boost when it comes to healing in some sort of way, there are lots of issues out there that stem cells are showing a high level of efficacy for. And cerebral palsy is one of them. What I love about that video is in one of the clips of him walking up the stairs, he falls, right? But it's right back on the horse, no pun intended,
Yeah.
because it ended in the horse. So it's important to note that this dude works his tail off. And credit to Mez and credit to Lori for being right there with him, and pushing him. But this dude works his tail off. So if you know somebody that is working their tail off to try to improve their health, but they're facing some sort of debilitating ailment, such as autoimmune diseases or inflammatory diseases, everything from Parkinson's to Alzheimer's. I mean, diabetes is even proven. They're using it for cancer. Obviously, chemo. It's stem cells is replacing chemo. There's so many things that that stem cells can help. So please, guys, go to the hswa.org, reserve your copy. $50 or more gets you a copy reserved, and help us get this guy to Panama. And let us know who you think that you're aware of that could use some help like that, because that's what we're here for. So I'm going to get back into this list, Rex, and we're going to knock this out real quick
Let's do it.
And get out of here. Okay. So
Yeah.
for some reason, okay, here we go. So I lost track of where I was at. Oh, okay. So
I'm sorry if you hear meowing. I've got a little baby foster kitten here, and he is a little tiny baby.
Okay, so
All
we
right.
were at so
Setting
the
deadlines.
yeah, so setting deadlines. So we want to get the reason that we want to try to get these reservations done by his birthday is because he has other medical issues that could affect the timing, and it's important with stem cells that you eliminate all the inflammation in your body so that they can actually be effective. So
Hmm.
that was just kind of a side note to get onto the deadlines thing, and then after setting deadlines, eliminating distractions. We've been talking enough about that. Um, and then the Pomodoro technique, if you guys aren't familiar with that, it's a technique where you set yourself, because we all know we have a limited attention span, especially today's society with all this overstimulation. We've got radio and phones, and the internet just takes all of our attention away. So the Pomodoro technique is where you basically give yourself a set period of time, 20 to 40 minutes, where you know that you can do hardcore focus, and then you put it down for a minute and step away from it and take a break, and give yourself, replenish your mental capacity. So that's a very important one. And then learning to say no. I have a huge problem with that. Um, Huge problem with that. I've got so much on my plate right now, and I've got people that I promised things to that I just cannot back out of now. I'm a man of my word, and if I say yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and I got to stop saying yes all the time, because you just can't yes your way through life. People will steal your attention and they will use you, and Lord knows if I don't know about getting used recently, then I don't know about anything. But the number 11, delegate tasks. So guys, here's something that I'm putting together is I'm trying to organize a support group, or I'm putting together a Facebook group where it's going to be the close friends of the Help Sweet Walk Again family, so that anybody that has skills that could help us perpetuate the success of the nonprofit, anything from social media skills to event planning, basically getting the message out, whether it's liking and sharing, all these kinds of things. We could really use a lot of help with that, because this is a huge project that I've taken on, because I can't even say no to myself, and I could really use some help. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to bring that up in future podcasts. That goes into the delegating tasks thing, and then setting realistic expectations. And that's where I went wrong with this. I had no idea, first of all, how limited my abilities were because of my physical limitations in this condition. I'm not making excuses. I'm just being real. That I thought when I got out of the hospital and nursing facilities that I was going to go right back in a super productive version of myself. And the truth is that maintaining my health is a part-time job. So I just realistically was not aware of how elaborate this plan was that I put together and how much help I was going to need. So please keep an eye out for that Facebook group. And if you're willing to, even if you're just willing to, put 10 minutes a week or 10 minutes here and there, let me know. Stay tuned for more information about that, because I could definitely use some help with this. And then taking breaks, we just got done talking about avoiding perfection. D-Rex, why don't you comment on that?
I actually do want to comment on that, because the thing that I was just thinking myself this morning, that perfection is the enemy of done. And I have personally some tasks that I need to just get done, even if they're not perfect. Sometimes it's more important to get it done than to be perfect.
True that. And last but not least, practice self-care. What does that mean, guys? Well, for me, it's no nonsense November. It's reducing the amount of poison that I put into my body. And like I said, I'm not quitting. I enjoy my social hour, but I am caring for myself and focused on being healthy this month. So by all means, do that. Get a proper amount of rest, y'all. Seriously,
Hmm.
don't just
Hmm.
stay up all night watching Netflix. When it's time to go to bed, man, go to sleep. Don't just put the TV on and let it keep you awake because Breaking Bad's so damn interesting. Put that shit off. Watch an episode and then cut it off. All right. And not only sleep, but exercise. If you have the type of job where you're always in your car, which I used to have, or if you have the type of job where you're always at your desk, or if you have the type of job that just allows you to not be like, so some of us, like, I was talking to Tasha, who is a loyal watcher, about her job. She's always on the go at work. Like, she's move at all times. So if you work in a nursing environment, or if you work in a restaurant environment, like, you're moving a lot, so that's helpful. But if you don't have that type of job, you need to make it a priority to exercise on a regular basis. Get out there and get it done. That's another part of self-care. So I do want to take a moment here to go back into the comments. And Lori says, my life is a to-do list. And I don't leave my house without my planner. I'm a pen and paper person.
Yeah,
And
me
I'm
too.
glad
Me too.
I'm glad that Angel made a note of the Freedom Mastery Planner, guys. I highly recommend it. If you're interested in getting one, reach out to me. I think I might have like a referral code or something. If I don't, I know Mel does. And that might get you a discount and it might get her a little bit of a kickback. And then, oh, Lori said, that is awesome. Now I'm crying. Well, that is your son, Lori. You should be very proud of him. We are very proud of you. And we're so honored that you nominated Schaefer because the guy just fills the room. I mean, you don't have to be in his presence for more than 3 seconds and you feel him all the way down to the core of your heart. So I couldn't be more excited about being able to help this guy. So again, the hswa.org, reserve your copy, $50 or more, and help us get this guy to Panama.
Yes. And the last thing I want to say here before we wrap this up, when it comes to self-care, I think one of the most important things we can do is get out in nature. It's the ultimate reset. And if you're just working hard on your goals, it's probably one of the best ways you can reward yourself.
Yes. Yes. Good point. Well,
so my
D-Rex,
top 3: nature, gratitude, and giving. And gratitude and giving, there's a lot of that going on just even within this podcast. So even when I'm working, it's self-care. So thank you for that.
Amen. Amen. Well, thank you, D-Rex. Thanks to all of you that showed up today. Excellent participation in the comments. Love to have all of you. Such a wonderful mesh of people here. I really feel like we are developing a community. I know that it takes a while to earn people's trust. When you tell someone you're going on a new endeavor, they just want to watch and make sure that you're serious about it before they start taking it seriously. And it really appears that people are starting to take us seriously, D-Rex. So thank you guys in the comments. D-Rex, thank you for your diligence. Thank you for everything that you do to make this thing happen. I couldn't appreciate you any more than I do, but I'm going to try.
Well, thank you for this opportunity.
And so without further ado, I just want to remind you guys to always remember, no matter the weather, we're all in this together. Whether sunshine or rain, there's no joy without pain. Always remember, we're all in this together. Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
When you see me, but you gotta believe me. Ain't nothing coming easy my way. No, I fucking work, but it's fucking work.